Hi, you all. Uh, Thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the Voices of Logistics Planet podcast, where we dive deep into the world of logistics, uncovering its many layers through the voices of industry professionals. And today, we have a really big privilege to hosting a truly fascinating guest. He is a serial entrepreneur with business experience in traditional and tech-related logistics. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Anton Vaganov. Hello, Anton.
Hi, Thomas. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for your warm introduction. Yes, it's nice to be here on your podcast.
Great. So I think, and so Anton, thank you for taking the time. And of course, I think we will have a lot of great insights with Anton because, as I said, Anton is a serial entrepreneur. And today, everyone wants to be in tech, and Anton is in tech with several businesses. So I think we will share a lot of great advices for you to follow, and of course, maybe some pitfalls to avoid. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, by the way, if you want to check, what Anton is doing now, so one of his businesses, you can see the link here. It's automatic cargo inspection. They do some fantastic things with machine vision and IE and cargo inspections. So just check it there, and let's start. Yeah, Anton.
yeah. It's a great format actually to dig deeper, and I see that these podcasts are emerging across the Europe, and really happy. I'm really happy for you to come up with this idea. I think Lithuania deserves a good podcast on logistics and automation. So let's kick off. I'm
Good.
following your lead.
Good. Thank you. So, Anton, your LinkedIn headline states logistics company owner turned tech, yeah? So maybe
Yeah.
could you please share more about your journey and your story and why you have chosen this kind of business?
Yeah, of course. Actually, it's an interesting story from the business perspective and from the personal perspective as well, because throughout the whole experience until recent years, I've been in logistics actually, and I truly like this industry, and I I was really into the operations and then into sales and logistics, and it all seemed like a great field to be for me. But also, I was very interested in tech solutions, and I saw that logistics could do better with tech. That's why we started to experiment with tech in our businesses in the group of companies that I managed in the group of partner companies, and we had different projects. And after we came to the point that logistics in Lithuania and transit logistics had some consequences from the geopolitical uh, challenges, so to say, yes, I thought that it's a great time actually to make a move just from a personal perspective, just to find a new challenge for myself from a business perspective, try to transfer the experience to another field without losing the whole streak, but just, let's say, jump into another boat, let's say, more technological boat, and that could still let's say find this boat, and me in this boat could find myself in the same waters.
Okay, yeah, good. So, and what are the businesses now? So, one is automatic cargo inspection, or you have more, and this is all your core business here.
Yeah, actually, that's a core business that I focus on now. We had different experiments in freight forwarding and marketplaces for freight forwarding as well, and we also now uh, gathered together with a team of like-minded guys from logistics and sales to make another uh, try attempt to streamline the communication in logistics. But I would say that automatic cargo inspection is the main focus for today, and really that reflects my interest in technology because it's First of all, it's an AI project, but a bit beyond the AI that we all see now in our browser window. It's about visual recognition. From other side, it's a logistics and purely logistics project that could be grown into quality control. And I like this applicability of this business because I understand that I touch real operations and I can ease the burden of everyday job for the guys that work in warehouses. And I like these guys. I know these guys.
Yeah, so and as I understand, talk about artificial intelligence in warehouses and logistics. This is a topic where you get quite a fast return on investment. Yeah, so it's maybe some are saying that this is a new trend, but what do you see? How do you see? I think this can bring a lot of benefits, yeah, to warehouse owners and others who are using such tools.
The artificial intelligence itself is kind of a technology that can bring you benefits when you feed a lot of data to it. So that's why in logistics and with visual recognition, especially, yes, the benefits are all within the usage of this model. That means we already have some visual recognition models, but the more logistics as an industry, I'm not talking about our clients, will use the visual recognition and AI capabilities, not only in software field, but also with the hardware, the more it gets new benefits. Because all robots, and we're dealing with robots today, they are learning from from the cases they are shown. So once you show them the cases, once you learn them how to recognize these cases, they move forward. And I think actually the logistics is one of the fields that will gain enormous attention from the business community, because the logistics is a very very fast and very very experimental field, and it changed actually thanks to technologies.
Yes, one of the fields where you can get benefits right away, and it's big, So there's a lot of process. There is a lot of manual tasks. So of course, there's a lot of things to be done can be done with
Yeah,
technologies there.
it's
Yeah.
all about scale. It's all about scale. The logistics, it just gives you a number of cases, let's say in minutes or hours. And if you take days or weeks, it's thousands of cases. That's why it's very good to experiment in logistics. If you're allowed to experiment in logistics, you get a feedback very fast.
Yeah, good. So, as I understand, it's quite clear why you turn tech. You see a quite benefits where you can make a real lasting impact into the warehousing space and other ventures that you are in. And I know from talking with the younger guys, especially on my training services, and they are all saying, okay, we will create another logistics startup and just make millions. But I know that it's not, as easy as it sounds. So, what do you think from your perspective? So is it an easy business, or it's not so easy? So what do you think here?
I would not say that the business itself is an easy thing, because you always need to invest a lot of time. First of all, you need to balance with your patients' expectations, and sometimes pitfalls, as you called it, mentioned it previously. But speaking of the switch from the traditional business model to the technological business model, and comparing it and considering whether it is easy or not, I would say that traditional business is hard because you need to compete, first of all, and you need to be the same but better. And that's actually the main problem with the traditional business here. In technological business, you do not improve little by little. You need to change the core product and find a product market fit. So you are making the biggest bet a few times a year. So you make it the biggest bet. I mean, you bet on your product, you bet on your business model, and you should be quite bold to uh, not too afraid to change this bit. You always need to challenge your own business and say, hey, yesterday I was absolutely wrong. Let's try today the new thing. That's an uneasy thing. And it took me some time to learn how to deal with myself, first of all. Uh, how can I switch this model? Because when you making traditional business, you say, okay, my flow is going. I've got cargoes. I'm handling them. I'm delivering them. I can improve here and here and here, but the flow is still there. Yeah. So
Yes.
the
So if I understand correctly, to sum up this a little bit, so within tech, you need to innovate really fast. You need to and change fast. Yeah, do something, you check it with your customers. Does it work? Doesn't have any? Do you hear positive reviews and buys? Yeah, from customer. And then if it's not working, you just change it. Yeah. So this I would say is the core. Yeah, the core challenge maybe, and of course. Core opportunity because you can become better
yeah.
faster and win customers. Yeah.
And I would add actually that it's a core challenge, a core opportunity, but it's a core skill as well because
Yeah.
you're gaining this skill. You're gaining the skill when playing with technologies. You're gaining the skill to change a lot, to change faster, and you become just prone to changes, and you become just resilient to this, let's say, bias of your own. So you become more flexible.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not saying you become better because traditional business is still a business that runs all our lives, and we all go to the store, all pick our boxes post post offices and so on. So I'm not challenging the traditional business. It just works another way.
Yeah, it's really good because I know that many previous tech companies which are still there but are struggling. They arrived and just said, we will change the world. You do not know what you're doing, and we will just change everything. And you're a little bit idiot. Yeah, you're idiots. You're doing this in a completely wrong way. So this is, I believe, not the case with automatic cargo inspection. Of course, it's not the case with your approach. Yeah, and then it's of course a bad approach from even from marketing and sales perspective. Yeah.
It's an adversary approach. You mean you can just get some foes, and you can get just some negative impulse from outside. And why do you need that? Because you need more allies. You need more people to build a network and to actually circulate your idea, circulate your product, and get more feedback. So that's why you don't have to be negative in any business, I think. And a
Yeah.
positive approach to business always pays off.
Good points here. I know if talking about selling, is it which do you think is easier? Is it selling traditional logistic services, like warehousing, like 3PLs, freight forwarding, or is it tech, or maybe you have some different opinion, maybe not to look at this at such point because tech is a little bit different, yeah. So beginning is harder, but then of course you can scale faster, yeah. So what's your opinion on that?
I would say that there are some similar or maybe absolutely the same traits in selling models, selling algorithms, and maybe you can prove me right or wrong. But I think all the logistics field is defined with very very occupied middlemen. I mean middle managers. You cannot approach the guy at the warehouse just, hey, do you want to read my email? He really doesn't want to read any emails except those that deal with his uh, problem issues or current cargoes. So he doesn't react to many of these emails. So you need to find another approaches, meet people in person, and so on. I think it's the same for tech businesses that sell to logistics companies and for logistic companies that sell their logistic services. I assume. Uh, Another thing is it's also about the sales cycles. They are still long because people are busy with their operations. They are busy catering best service to their clients, and you cannot just push them and say, "Hey, everything everything doesn't matter from this point. You please have 2 hours with me." That doesn't work this way. So you need to be more, let's say, discreet, and you need to engage people with your product, and you need to communicate. And that's where I think you, Thomas, make a great job every day, just, let's say, communicating different points to the community. And that's how we all become more engaged in this progress of the industry. And that's how people start to ask questions whether I need new technologies, do I want to sell better, maybe I have some new tools to sell better, maybe I have some new tools to provide better service to my clients. So I would say there are many similar traits in selling tech products and logistics services, but there are still some difference, because when selling tech product, you inevitably get the complicated thing like ROI, return on investment case, and you need to prove your point not just by one price on one route, or
Yeah.
handling
We'll
a
make better. Yeah, we are better.
yes,
You will gain
yes,
a lot. You need to have some figures.
yes.
Yeah, here.
And the values is like uh, this Rubik's cube. You need to assemble the values and show here is the value model for you, and it could differ. But as you mentioned, there is a great potential when you mm, dig into the processes of the company, and then you see that you can deliver this value, and then you've got a chance to scale.
Yeah, so this is very important because it's hard at the beginning, I would say, because one way or another, if you have some novelty in the market, you need to just, talk a lot about the benefits. You need to educate your buyers, you need to, and you need to become, known with them, because if they do not know you, do not know what you are doing, so it's quite really it's hard, then to scale. But when you do this, so of course, then the potential is quite big, because the whole market is here, not only Lithuania, but of course other parts of the world, because you can scale faster. So this is my understanding on this.
Yeah,
So
definitely, yes. That's really important nowadays, because you have to be present, you have to be known, and the market should be aware of your technology way before you ask them, "Hey, do you want to talk?" They say,
yeah.
"Who are you? Hey, who are you? We don't know you."
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is the case. So, and about artificial intelligence, so you are deep into this thing. So, what excites you the most from this technology? So is it, as I mentioned in the before, is it just a buzzword? Which we had a buzzword visibility. Everyone needed to have visibility. And then now this is not so very important. Now it's artificial intelligence. So what do you think? Is it a buzzword, or it's really a thing that can change and impact logistics in various ways, especially warehouse?
from my perspective, it's kind of a great wave of technology that actually came after a few more waves, and we can name them. Actually, we had some kind of Internet of Things, and we've got truly approved leaders here in Lithuania, like Teltonika, and
Yeah,
they go way beyond this GPS tracking. So they're building a great ecosystem, actually, of Internet of Things, and go into semiconductors. Then we have blockchain technologies and Web3, also which are also formed a group of prominent technologies, and many financial companies benefited from them, because you can be sure that the data is linked to previously created data. And now we have this AI revolution, or maybe it's already an evolution. But I would say that yes, it's a buzzword in terms of how many companies make this AI washing thing. It's all
Hmm.
about AI, and you can, let's say, see the AI sticker on kebab kiosk, something like that. Yeah, but in terms of real innovation, it's a great thing that could, from one side, be very beneficial, from another side, it could ruin some processes. But we would not go into global perspective. I just want to say that logistics and machine vision and AI as a triangle could form a great actually example of how the technologies finally interconnect between each other, and how the recognition, the visual recognition, could change the way uh, we run businesses actually. Because visual recognition is quite far from the progress that large language models like ChatGPT or Gemini show. They are already similar to human in terms of answering questions, finding information way faster than humans, and they are good at reasoning already. They can just support the discussion. But visual recognition is not that fast paced, because you need the big data set, and the machine should understand what it sees. So if we compare the large language models to grown-ups, to mature people, then visual recognition is just like babies, because it recognizes only what you show to it. But it changes, and the most, let's say, exciting thing and the most expected thing, but it's not going to be in one day, and it's not going to be at this certain day, is the change of visual recognition that we will witness all. I mean, we will get to some point when the machine will answer the question, what's happening in the picture, what's happening during this video capturing, and this would be really great. Now we've got some, let's say, fragmented models that could do that, but we're still moving to the progress that large language models show. So, summarizing that, AI is a great technological pack, and we should actually keep an eye on that from one side, contribute to that, because we all interact with AIs, but still understand that AI is a technology, and the humans should be on the top of decision making.
Let's hope, that this artificial mind won't take our lives from what we known before, so it would be really great. So,
Yeah.
so you touched one important part. You said that it's here, but it still needs to evolve. And for evolving, you need to have finances, yeah, because you need to stay longer in the game until you can create the best models here. So we touched. I want to move to another part, related to finances, because
Yeah.
finances and funding is really important for startups, and they can't do anything without that, I would say. So you are an active participant in Lithuanian Business Angels Network, yeah, Anton. So and have you noticed any changes in the financing environment for logistics tech compared to 3, 4 years? Because I know that the market, before pandemics, starting after, maybe after pandemics, it just boomed. There was a lot of money, and everyone and VC funds just funded anything. Yeah. So is this the case, or what's happening now, or now maybe investors are more price sensitive, and what do you think here? Not price, but ROI maybe sensitive. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, if we take the logistics, logitech, so to say, field, I would say this, that some of the projects, some of the startups that were boosted by money, yes, they already had their successes and fails as well. We know that, as Convoy failed last year, and but
Yeah.
for Flexport, heavily funded Flexport is still in the game. Uh, But speaking of another wave of startups, I would say that now it's not the bad time to create to develop new ideas and to create a startup. But there are a number of preconditions that you should keep in mind. To do that, you should be deep into the industry, because logistics is not the common area where you can just improve something, and you need to improve the exact things. Another thing, speaking of VCs and speaking of money, as you started this topic, uh, Lithuania is not the best example for VC money and angel money for logistics startups. But if we take, for example, Germany, the powerhouse of our logistics in Europe, they have multiple funds, not only funds that invest into the logistics startups, but funds that were created by logistics companies in the first place. And we even have funds that were created by logistics automation companies. I mean, it's like a third generation of funds. They are not that big, but they really chase these technologies, and they are ready uh, to take them into their portfolio when it's growing to the certain stage and to the certain maturity. Yeah. So speaking of finances, it's not an easy path as always. Everybody is looking for traction, and the traction is very hard to gain in the logistics market, because, as I mentioned previously, everybody's busy with their own operations. But it's all feasible, it's all doable, and if the founders are sure about their idea, if they know the field, and if they have some runway just to continue the experimentation, or they have money from their, let's say, first business angels, it's a good place to be, because the logistics technological, let's say, global map is gonna be changing a lot.
In
Yeah.
the future? Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Uh, Take for example, first thing to mention here about the change is some kind of interconnectivity. Uh, it's all it's all about the dreams that we had previously. That it would be great if one thing would be connected to this thing, and then to this thing, to this thing. But the problem with logistics, that especially in road logistics, in uh, road logistics with trucks and deliveries by roads, was always scattered and fragmented. So you could benefit some interconnectivity if you order the services from a big company that have different depots and have different hubs. But in most cases, you cannot rely only on one company, and you have to communicate and interconnect the parts of the process by yourself, or by your colleagues, with the help of your colleagues. But now we're approaching the part of logistics technology development where we can really interconnect things, and we can just see how the parcel goes, not only by the road. I would say it goes by the digital road, and then it picks the suitable physical road. So it would be really fascinating to see how it goes. So the interconnectivity startups, I think, would be really prominent. And for example, for me, it's kind of easy to imagine, but quite difficult to, let's say, elaborate on, to dig deeper into details. So I'm pretty sure there are guys that are dreaming of that and coming into the industry, and maybe we will see uh, some magnificent and truly magical things in logistics industry. I really believe that logistics is going to be one of a tech leader industries in a very very recent years. I mean, shortly.
Yeah, let we will see, So, Anton, if you had, more, if you would like to invest, even what companies would attract you? I know you have already invested in some, but what else do you think will be the winners in, let's say, this year and maybe in the upcoming decade, maybe?
I already mentioned interconnectivity. Let's say market request. It's not only the dream; it's a market request to interconnect. But also, I would, let's say, pay more attention to not only to software startups but to hardware startups as well, because in
Mm,
logistics it's all about hardware. You cannot just play with the software. I mean, the software uh, was in the game for a long time. I mean, it's been with logistics for 25 maybe years, maybe even more in some countries. But the hardware, it just came, let's say, a decade ago, and it's now gaining more and more advantages, and it's gaining more and more attention. That's why I would say hardware startups worth watching them, and
mm.
just to understand what value they bring and how the adoption comes. If the adoption goes at a very big pace, that means it's your champion. It's the horse you need to bet on.
Mm. So do you mean by hardware? Now, of course, automatic cargo inspection is also one of the hardware. There's a soft and hard part, yeah. So, but you're also talking maybe about all the automation, warehouse automations, yeah, maybe micro fulfillment centers or that kind of
Yeah,
stuff, yeah.
yeah. I would say that automatic cargo inspection is maybe not that hardware-oriented startup, because we've got our hardware from suppliers and we assemble that. Of course, the final set is unique, but the main, let's say, unique core advantage is hidden in our on our servers. So we have the models that recognize from servers, and we train them on servers. So there are some other startups that really automate the field of warehouse and logistics processes. And let's talk about moving pallets around the warehouse. Let's talk about the automatic unloading. They still have some limitations. You still have these robots that deliver cargoes in warehouses, limited to some specific situations, and it's not that evident. But if companies would solve a few problem issues, they can gain a big advantage. For example, the unloading of the truck is still kind of a problem, because trucks could be packed. You know how they could be packed. Yes,
Yeah,
and
like fast, just
yes,
in
yes,
seconds, yeah, or just moving like in parcels, parcel lockers, like seconds.
yes. Yeah, yeah, but also a problem, because you open the truck and the robot, he cannot just understand what's inside and how he can just start unloading that. And I think that these hardware startups, they can find new technologies and just really really unleash the hands of warehouse workers, so they could be only coordinators and controllers.
No, but
So
maybe
that's
this yeah, yeah, but maybe this development will be, in when Internet of Things will be, more developed. So, for example, if every package, everything, everyone will have a tag, where everyone is known, dimensions, everything, what is there, how to put this. So maybe this would, ignite, you know, those issues, which usually now are there because, as you said, robot can't see, can't, completely decide which cargo is this. So maybe we'll have this part, and this will be easier. So this maybe will help for the interconnectivity. Yeah, because now again there are many problems here. What to deliver, what to load into trucks, how many space, how much space, and then also forth. So
Yeah,
such things.
I absolutely agree with you that it's gonna be a kind of a mix of different technologies that would be just uh, taken for tests, and at some point we will have the perfect combination of how we can resolve this or that problem. And another thing that we are going to witness from my perspective is we are going to have more and more standards in logistics. For example, the first standard that came was a sea container, then we had pallets right away. So now parcels and everything is still very scattered in terms of sizes and so on. So automation requires standardization. So that's why we're going to witness these standards. And still, hardware startups would gain more and more attention from that, because when you have standards, you can automate that. Yeah. So I would look at interconnectivity projects that can connect different systems and connect the systems in a very, let's say, in tradition, not in a traditional way, but in an expected connectivity manner. And another thing is hardware startups, because first of all we need this hardware. Second, it's interesting. Third,
Mm.
it's going to be in place, because hardware startups, they they are very mm, they are very slow, maybe comparing to software, but they do not disappear.
Yeah, they stay for a longer time. Yeah,
Yeah, they
because
do not disappear.
when you invest more, then it's you have more motivation to do everything till then. When you invest in software, okay, so I will keep the algorithm and then move it to another business. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
it's like, it's like playing in casino. You someone is just betting on the color, someone is taking the zero, and someone is taking the color and the number. So it's like having different approaches to spending your money on risky investment.
yeah,
But it's still risky. It's still
all
risky.
investments are risky, so there aren't any bananas aren't flowing from the sky, so
Yes,
there's
yes.
risk. If you want to earn money, you need to risk. Good, Anton. So time flies. So I have one question for you, last question. This is related. I know that maybe there will be a lot of listeners who are thinking of investing or starting a Logitech business. So what advice would you give to those founders, you know, future founders of logistics startups? What mistakes maybe to avoid? What things to do right away, and so on and so forth.
That's a challenging, interesting question, because I'm myself finding myself as a founder now, and maybe I'm giving an advice to myself as well. But I'll try.
Good.
First of all, yeah, first of all, you have to mind the industry and its, let's say, specifics. I would not say that logistics is one of the kind, and you need to understand it from A to Z. But still, logistics is an industry where long sales cycles are not a problem. It's just a feature. Yes. So you need to mind
You
that.
have this in mind and prepare, yeah, because because sorry for interrupting you, but this is really important part, I would say, because I'm working with many startups, not many, but few already, so I see that many believe that you will be able to scale in let's say 1.5, 2 years, and then they put everything into to just shoot everything out in the first year, just getting all the team ready, sales, all other things, and they just do this right away, and then they will just they found out that of course they needed to make some changes, yeah, in their offering maybe, but they do not have any money for those changes, yeah. So this is the
Yes,
case.
it's a very great addition. It's a great addition, actually, from you, and I can summarize our two approaches, attitudes, by the words: you should maintain a high profile in terms of market awareness, but very low profile in terms of costs, and that's where you can turn yourself into parts, and that's where you need to find a balance. So you need to be present, but before you start to scale by market adoptance of your technology, you need to control your costs, definitely. Another thing to mention actually about the logistics industry is um, I would say it's good to narrow down the value to product market fit. It's good to, let's say, understand the core problem and try to solve the core problem. But it's kind of an advice from the startup book, from any startup book. I would add another part. While the core value is the target for the first stage of developing a startup, you should still think about the big picture that you have, because the big picture is going to be wider. And if you take warehouse, logistics, forwarding, transport, automation companies, big companies, they are going wide. They have a lot of legs they are standing on, because having only one leg, they thought about the second and the third, and so on. And this kind of a good practice to solve the exact problem, but see the big picture and always add up to this big picture and build the future today, if not tomorrow, if not yesterday.
Good.
Yeah, yeah.
Any more advices here? So or this is
No,
key things, timing. You need to understand that you are here for not short time but long time, and then of course, just narrow down, but have in mind that narrowing down, it's not an option for a long run. Yeah.
um, I cannot say that it's too much to add here. I would say that also that this market requires a warm network. I mean, not only making one chin chin with a glass during some event. You need to really travel, see people, yes, shake their hands, and be not nice, but be useful. Be useful in terms of networking, which works to connect one with each other. I would say that works. I would say that being helpful really works in logistics, and overall, logistics professionals are helpful people. They help each other. That's one of
Yeah.
the things. Yeah, they help each other, yes. And if you come in with the technology, you need to be like them. I mean, you need to bring the same good things that they appreciate. So if coming from another industry, for founders coming from another industry, or let's say one founder is all keen on logistics, another founder is all keen on sales. So for those who are going to sell, they need to, let's say, adjust themselves to be the same helpful kind of people that logistics professionals are.
Yeah, and I would add to this few more things. Sell, 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 sell like crazy. You need to be selling, because I know that many, turned into their maybe, benefit in things, creating some more functionality, than selling. So I would say, just go out to the market, sell, market yourself. If you see that it's not working, change, and then just sell, sell, sell again, until everything works, because value propositions are really important, here. So you need to be very concerned with that. Yeah.
Yes, of course, and it's the value proposition is all it always works like a mirror. I mean, you can show and you can see right away. And in logistics, it's absolutely true. People bring you feedback right away. They do not keep it in their pocket. They do not hide uh, hide what they wanted to say. They always bring you feedback. That's why selling, yes, it's the best way to adjust your product.
Good. So time flies. Thank you, Anton, for sharing your journey. It was really, I hope that many of you found a lot of insights and ideas from us today. So thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. That was a pleasure, actually. Pleasure talking to you, as always, and pleasure bringing some new information to your podcasts and to your followers. Cheers
Great.
for that.
Yeah, thank you. So, and thank you to all of our listeners. So, thank you for tuning to the voices of the logistics planet. So, we hope you enjoyed the day and conversation. And don't forget to subscribe and share and leave us feedback. And of course, look at automatic cargo inspection. You see the link there. So, if you want to improve your warehouses, if you're looking for ways to save money, so I think this is one of the great tools here. Yeah. So, thank you all. Until next time. See
Thank
you.
you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye.